Hello, welcome to Salmon by Hannah. Thank you for joining me on 3D Friday. I'm so excited. I've got a whole video series coming to you now every Friday, and we're going to do 3D projects and maybe some fancy fold cards as well. Anything really with some kind of fancy fold involved. So this is my first fancy 3D Friday project. This is totally inspired by my friend Sam, who I love, and she did a series of these a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure you all know who I'm talking about. Her blog will be linked from mine because I will credit her for this one over on my blog. This is my 5-sided twist and close box. How cool is that? I love this. I don't know how well you can see this because it's really dark colour. And it's just fabulous. Love it. Do you want to see how we make it? Right. I've had far too much coffee this morning. I don't know what happened. I've been on nights for the past couple of weeks, and I was like, I need to film today, and to be awake I need a coffee. And I think I've had slightly too much. So, for this you will need a piece of cardstock that measures 8 inches by 4.5 or 21 centimetres by 12. All the measurements, as always, will be available on my blog. Link is in the description bar below. Go and check it out. Right, we're going to insert our piece of cardstock with the long side at the top. I'm going to take a deep breath because I'm a bit too excited. It's really bad, isn't it? Oh dear. And we're going to score on the long side at 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6, and 7.5 inches. That is 4, 8, 6, 12, 16 and 20 centimetres. And while we've still got this up here in the landscape mode, we're going to put little notches in. So I'm not going to go all the way down, just a little notch in at 3/4 of an inch, 2.25 inches, 3 3/4, 5 1/4, and 6 3/4 inches, which is 2, 6, 10, 14 and 18 centimetres. Then we are going to turn this piece of paper, this cardstock, around so that these notches are now on the right hand side. And we are going to score at 1.5 and 3 inches, which is 4 and 8 centimetres. I'm going to keep hold of my stylus, so I'm going to need that again. And the top tip here is a metal ruler. I prefer a metal one to a plastic one for scoring, because what we're going to do is we're going to use this metal ruler as an edge to score. Now, I don't know how well you can see this because I've got rich raspberry cardstock today, but what we're going to do is we're going to score from this edge here, this little notch, to this kind of intersection on each one. So I'm going to use that metal edge as a guide. Now, your stylus has got two ends. It's got a fatter end and a thinner end, and when you're scoring kind of freehand like this, the thinner end is the one you want. You get a better, more crisp score line that way. Okay, so I have scored. I don't know which point my camera cut out, but what I've done is I've put diagonal score marks from the kind of mark point that we made through to this cross all the way along, and then we're going to fold and burnish on all our score lines, and we'll do the cross ones, the diagonal ones, sorry, in a second. So quick as that. Right, and then these ones you're going to fold like so and burnish on the inside. Why is that not doing it? There we go. Sometimes cardstock and play slightly strange games with you. And it's not going to be a right angle because it's a 5-sided box. It's going to be slightly different. So, which way are we going? That one went the wrong way. There we go. Get there in the end. Oh dear, I really am slightly giddy. I don't know if the coffee is now slowly wearing off. But, oh, you know, when you've had one of those weeks. So, I pop it back into landscape mode again, and we're going to cut off. You've got that skinny edge down one side. We're going to cut off that little skinny bit at the bottom, and then cut off each one of these lines underneath. So that to form the bottom of our box. Now, normally when we're doing boxes like this, I would say to notch into your, I don't know what's happened to the white balance on this camera. Notch into them. Don't notch into them this time. I'm going to keep them all square. And I'm sorry if the white balance is going funny on this camera today. I think it is that my whole camera is playing silly with me. Right, now before we assemble our box, the easiest way to do this next bit is while it's still laid out flat. So I have this piece of designer series paper that measures 1 inch by 8 inches that is going to sit on the side of our box. So like that. This is the Inside the Lines designer series paper. It's so pretty. So pretty. And it's free. It's free during Sale-a-bration, which is just awesome. And all you need to do is spend £45 in either the spring, summer or the annual catalogue to be able to pick a free item. There are 11 fabulous items if you shop with me today. And then there is a further 3 fabulous things that are just gorgeous. I'm not showing you yet what they are, but they are gorgeous. If you shop with me in the next 12 months, if you received a Sale-a-bration catalogue from me, you'll be receiving something else in the post. Keep your eyes peeled, folks. So, I've just put some fast fuse on the back, and I've covered the back of it piece in the back. Oh, I've covered the back of this piece of designer series paper in fast fuse because I want to make sure it stays stuck. So we're going to line that up in the centre there, and then all the way along like that. And push it down, and then we're just going to have to fold and burnish on the box again, just to make sure that that designer series paper stays stuck on the corners and doesn't stop us bending. So fast fuse on this side here, and we will assemble our fabulous 5-sided box. Now normally if it was a 4-sided one, you could just do that and the ends would meet and it would be really simple, but because it's an odd number, we have got to very carefully line things up by hand, like so, and just burnish with your fingers. You could get a bone folder in there and make sure it's well stuck, and then you just push your box closed like so, and then that will make sure that it's right. You do the bottom of the box. So if you've closed the top, turn it upside down, find the back of the box, which is where that seam was, which is there for me. And so we're going to do that one first, then the front one, then a back one, then the side one, and then that one, to make sure that the front of the box is pretty. So where's that side piece gone? This is where it gets a little bit tricky. Because I want to put fast fuse on, I'll close them all up and just put fast fuse on the outside of the first one and then the inside of the other 4 pieces. So, sorry that you cannot see this. I am just putting fast fuse on the inside. You could use tear and tape for this. Tear and tape works very well for this box, and this one I use tear and tape with, but for speed I am using fast fuse today. So the back one in first, then a front one, then that one, and then that one, and then just make sure it's nicely lined up. It will, and push it down a little bit, turn it over, open the box, just open, and get your bone folder or ruler or something heavy, paperweight or something like that, just to tap down, make sure that base is really well stuck. And there it is. That is it. That is our cute twist turn 5-sided box. Thank you ever so much for watching. Thank you for joining me on 3D Friday. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you again on Monday. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.